In the last episode I called Jumping Ship, I mentioned that I was going to talk about reinventing yourself. So if you haven't listened to that episode, it'd be worth doing so before listening to this one. So what do I mean by reinventing yourself? Well, there are two aspects that I'm going to cover here. Firstly, a lot of people hold themselves back from becoming who they are to become. And secondly, in order to reach the success you want, you need to shake off the old and embrace the new. So let me go through each one of these. In the last episode, I went through the fears that everyone experiences when they're considering changing what they're doing, even if that change is a slight change. So part of what you need to do is to reinvent yourself. So what does that look like? Well, you need to know what it is that you're to be doing, what that activity looks like, what your role in it is, what does the structure look like. In other words, you're creating somewhat the vision for yourself and your business, but it's not a vision of the business, it's a vision of you in the business. So you've got to determine what that new you looks like, feels like, what activities you're doing, and so on. Think of it this way. If you were to describe to someone else what it is that you do now and how you do it, with the emphasis on the you as opposed to what your business does, then you'd be able to paint a clear picture for them because you know it intimately. So ask yourself, can you paint the same kind of picture for yourself for the you that you want to become? And if not, then what are the elements that are missing? To reinvent yourself, you need to have that picture of your future self in your mind. When you know your mission and your purpose, it's a lot easier to see that picture of your future self. It's by having that picture in your mind that creates the tension for it to be achieved. Now, here's the difference. On the last episode, I described what most people experience, which is doing a business or a career which is to pay the bills. So creating a picture in your mind of your future self when it's doing more of what you're currently doing, and which is something that you don't really enjoy doing, but you're doing it to pay the bills, is not going to create the right tension that you want to create. Because all your creation is more the same of what you're currently experiencing, which is not what you really want. It's just more the same, and it's not in line with your purpose. Now, when you have a picture of that future you, then you have to be that future you. In other words, be that future you now. I spoke about part of this on the episode I called Being Successful. You already know what it's like to be the you that you are now. You can describe every aspect of it in every sense. But for you to reinvent yourself into the future you, you need to be that future you now, in as much as the same detail as you're able to describe the current you in every aspect and in every sense that you can describe the current you right now. That's what creates the tension between the you now and the you want to become. When you're being that future you now, then nothing will hold you back from becoming that future you. It's not about faking it till you make it, far from it, because that does more harm than good. It's about being the future you now. When you do that, then you're truly reinventing yourself because you're being the new you from the inside. Now, let's move on to the next part. In order to reinvent yourself, you need to shake off the old and embrace the new. So when you know what the new you is like, then it's easier to embrace. So let me go through what the old is. Right now, you are creating your future. Everything that you do and think about is creating your future. And everything that you've done up until now has gotten you to where you are now. That's not, however, going to get you to where you want to get to. Think of it this way. The skills, the knowledge and experience that you have up until now will only get you so far. Equally, the beliefs that you have will get you a certain distance. And also, the patterns and habits that you currently live your life by will also get you some of the distance. But in order for you to become the person you desire to become, then what has got you to here is not likely to get you where you want to get to. There's going to be more skills, more knowledge, more experience that you will need to gain. There will be better beliefs that you will need to nurture. There will be better patterns and habits that you will need to form in order to get to where you want to get to. If there's a level of success that you want to attain, then some things need to change. For you to become the person you want to become, then some things need to change. The future you that you describe for yourself will be very different to the you that you are now. Therefore, some things will need to change. That's why, in order for you to become the person you want to become, you need to reinvent yourself. Reinventing yourself is not just simply about changing your business or your career, or changing your branding or your messaging or your website. They're the easy parts, and yet they're the parts that so many people teach about and get caught up in. Reinventing yourself starts from within. Reinventing yourself from within gets you there much faster. Reinventing yourself with your purpose is like rocket fuel. You create your future. It's the law of cause and effect. What you're being right now is creating your future right now. Do you think it would be better to reinvent yourself properly now so as to have a much better future? Reinventing yourself results in you owning it, the new you. So when people feel like they're an imposter or are worried about what others might think, they're not fully owning who they truly are. And as a result, they're judging themselves and putting themselves down. And so their self-worth goes down. Being on your purpose and owning your purpose is the key. How do you know the difference? Well, you own who you are right now. You know what that feels and looks like. Do you know what it feels like and looks like for the new you that you want to become? If you can't, then that's where the work to be done lies. Can you do it? Absolutely you can. You are more resourceful and more capable than you think or you allow yourself to be. It depends on how much you want it. If people could only see the potential that I see in them, they would lose their breath. There's so much potential in each and every person. To see the images that I see for people and what their purpose is, what they're to do and what the impact they're to make is absolutely breathtaking. You have so much potential inside you. As Morpheus said in the movie The Matrix, do you want the red pill or do you want the blue pill? So do you want the old you or the new you? The you that you are meant to become? You get to choose. However, if you don't choose wisely, the choice will present itself again and again until you do. Trust me on that one. I've seen it so many times already. So the sooner you choose, the easier it is. And as always, come join us in our growing community of purpose-driven business owners. And that way it will be easier for you to make the choice. Just head over to theexecutivecode.com and we'll see you there. And until the next time, I wish you every success.